Okay, let's talk about E2 visas. E2 visa is the most common investor visa. I find a typical scenario where I end up speaking to a client, foreign client who is interested in moving to the United States, talking about this particular visa type. And the discussion goes something like this. I'm interested in immigrating and moving my family to United States. I'm working or I own a business in a foreign country and I'd like to relocate to United States. My questions to the foreign national is always, how soon do you want to relocate? And if you want to own your own business, how much money can you invest in that business? So the conversation turns quickly to, okay, I have some experience in running a business or managing a business abroad, and I'd like to continue in a similar trade, conducting business in the United States. What is that going to take? Most of the time, that entails opening up a new entity. Sometimes foreign nationals are asking to purchase a business, but I would say 4 out of 5 people end up opening a company. And the requirements for an E2 visa, number one, is that the foreigner has to be from a country that has a treaty with the United States. It's designed for treaty nationals, and there are about 80 foreign countries throughout the world that enable them to obtain this type of a visa. So assuming that the foreign national is from one of the treaty countries, we continue the conversation and talk about what's involved. If a person wants assistance in terms of registering the business, I help facilitate that aspect of the work in terms of registering the company and getting all the corporate documents together, statement of information, bylaws, articles, share certificates, any type of contractual agreements, loan agreement if money is being loaned to the foreigner for the purpose of the investment, and any third-party contracts that may be necessary to show the future growth of the business. Then the question is often raised, how much money do I need to invest? And it really depends on where the foreigner is coming from in order to, when he or she is applying for the E2. If a foreign national is inside of the US, let's say on a tourist visa, which is my preferred way of handling these type of cases, really the amount of investment should be around $100,000 or more. If, on the other hand, the foreign national does not have a visa to come into the United States, then the amount of investment should be at least $150,000, and we would be applying for a visa from abroad. And it's a little trickier to do that because there's an interview involved where a foreign national is going to the consulate. I'm preparing that individual with providing them with a copy of the documents that were submitted to the consulate, and then going over the typical questions that are raised, versus somebody who's applying for a change of status inside of the US. I maintain full control over their case, and any questions that the Immigration Service may have regarding the case will be provided to us via mail and will be responded to from myself or my office. So the substantial investment, like I said, is somewhere between $100,000 and $150,000, but that's not the required amount to be spent. The amount of initial capital expenditure is about $40,000 roughly, to show that there's a lease for a year or more for the business premises, that the equipment has been purchased, furniture and so on. Some money has been spent on advertising and legal fees. And then the remaining amount stays in the bank account, business bank account, and is discussed in the business plan. So besides organizing the company with all the corporate records, generally the business plan is prepared with 5-year projections showing what the outlook will likely be in terms of gross revenue, expenditures, net income, market share, and employees needed for this type of operation. The E2 visa is really a self-employed type of visa. It's one of the few visas available in an immigration process that allows an individual to operate their own business, where the spouse of this investor is able to work independently where she or he wants to, not necessarily attached to the business itself. The kids are allowed to attend school or universities, and the process of staying in the United States is simple once this application is approved. Generally, the visa itself, if it's processed from abroad, is issued for the duration of 2 to 5 years, and if the status is changed inside of the U.S., it's granted in 2-year increments with indefinite duration. So you can actually extend this status indefinitely. Some people don't apply for green cards for various reasons and extend E2 visas for durations of 20+ years without any problems, so long as the business remains active and profitable.